All right, I'm on the phone with Mark Arnold, the head football coach for the MDI Trojans, as we are every Friday and Monday during football season. And, Coach, just as before we start talking about the week, I want to talk about something we featured on the WDEA website. It's also was featured as an editorial in the Islander this week. I saw it on Facebook. It said, "A moment I wished I'd been able to capture yesterday at the middle school cross-country meet. The last boy finisher was having a difficult time finishing. I look and see some high school football players, I believe, running and encouraging him to keep going. He did finish, and that will be my favorite moment at a sporting event for a while, I believe." We spoke with you. We spoke to the mom that was involved. We found out that the football players involved, Cole Allen, Hunter Gray, and Darian Williams. And to me, that says it all. I mean, you want to be winners on the field, but even more, you want to be winners off the field.
Yep, definitely. I mean, our kids, you know, I'm happy to hear stuff like that reported to me. Makes me feel good about what we're doing as a program. It makes us feel special as a team about what our program's about, and that's really at the core of the things that we talk about a lot, and that, you know, we tell parents from the very start of the season, even in the spring as we're going out to recruit new players, that, you know, what we're trying to do here is be a support that makes, number one, the family stronger, and the individuals in that family stronger, and that our football program is really just practice for much bigger things in life. So, you know, to hear something like that, that's great. We hear different things, you know, in school. I love it when a teacher will send a message or come and tell us, you know, that somebody's gone out of their way to do something. And we have different things that happen throughout the season that reminds us that we're headed in the right direction and that help us reinforce that as a team. And so this was a really nice way for those guys to be recognized for something they do. One of the things we told our kids, we gave those three kids because of how they were recognized by others and kind of the positive light that they shed on our program. We give out stickers for in-game, you know, the things that you put on your helmets. They get these small award stickers for different things that they achieve on the football field. But when we have someone who takes time to, you know, write a letter or to go out of their way to express appreciation for one of our players, then we take time out of our practice time and award them a sticker for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always amazed at the level of the MDI kids. I mean, you know, I spend all winter with the basketball teams. With Coach Norwood, other coaches come up and constantly remark about how they leave the locker room, how they help stack chairs. I mean, it is seen by other schools, and this, you know, you want the support of the community, and when the community recognizes kids for doing good things. Let's face it, it's all too easy to call kids out when they do bad things, because unfortunately, you know, kids being kids, they don't do good things all the time. But to be recognized for doing good things is a great thing.
Yep, absolutely. You know, we told our players after that particular incident, you know, it was another time for us to reinforce with them that, you know, character is what you do when nobody's watching, and so that was at the end of our practice. We'd gone in off the field, and they were actually out because they were running extra hills at the end of practice. And
because of the penalties, right?
Right, because of the penalties from the football game the Friday night before. So they happened to be out a little bit later doing that. But on top of that, you know, for them to then stop and be thinking of someone else, that's really a nice thing.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite saying is, be the kind of person that your dog thinks you are.
That's right, absolutely. All wish we could.
Exactly. All right, so let's talk about the week. How has the week of practices gone?
Well, we've had a good week of practice again. You know, I thought we had a good week of practice last week, so I hope we've had a different kind of good week this week. We did have that rainy day. It was cold, but it gave the kids a chance to slide in the mud. And,
which is always a fun thing.
That's right. I told them if we have that situation again, then they have to wait till the end of practice, not before I get up there at the beginning. But yeah, so but we've had a good practice week. It has been cool and windy, and but I feel good about what our game plan is for this week. You know, coming off of last week, we had plenty of things to learn from that game, and it was really set up in a way that maybe is good for us, at least in terms of this week, in that we'll see a very similar type team this week.
Nokomis, they're a team on the rise. They've always seemed to play MDI tough. This game's going to be on Channel 5 tomorrow afternoon. Tell us what you know about the Nokomis Warriors. Well, again, they're a team that, in a lot of ways, looks like Herman in terms of their player composition. They have a good quarterback, a returning quarterback with experience. I think I said last week we really thought that this kid was going to be the top quarterback in the conference coming back this year. He's agile and he throws the ball well, and they have some good skill position players, that he can distribute the ball out to. So for us, that challenge is there for us to, contain a game that can pass and a quarterback that can take off running and skill kids that can run the football. So, they're just solid across the board. I definitely, their coach came in. He's an experienced coach that came from the Lawrence football program, and you can tell they're well coached, well disciplined, and it'll be a good football game. The Nokomis field always seems to be windblown and sunny. And tomorrow the weather's supposed to be nice and cool, but that poses a little bit of challenge as well. Yep, it'll be a bit different conditions for us, and maybe it'll slow down their skilled players a little bit, being a little bit cooler. But I know I always like going up to Nokomis. We've had a good rivalry with them. That's always been a challenging football game for us. I mean, I think even in the years when we've been a little bit down and they, back and forth like that, this game has always been close. They're a football team, I think, that has prided themselves in some of the same things that we do in terms of, they want their kids to be tough football players and persistent throughout the football game. And when you really look about it, it was hard for me to believe last year to hear that football team, that was their first playoff run. Right. They play everybody tough. And, I know that they'd moved up into the Class B for a couple of years and struggled up there. But in our conference, they've always been a team that, is right there in terms of winning a football game. So again, I'm expecting that kind of game again this week. And we're looking forward to going up there and improving upon our performance from last week. And that's another homecoming game, homecoming for the Warriors down in Newport. Yes, there are a couple things I really liked about going to Newport. It's my favorite place to go scout, too, because they have one of the best snack shacks in the conference. And they also have that right before you turn to go to the school there, they have the apple farm. And yes. So, I've usually stopped at both of those on my trips there. Well, and it's funny because my wife teaches at Nokomis. Yeah. So, this is one of those rivalries that there's a smack talk in the Popper household. And my son has flown back from Chicago, not specifically for this game, but will be coming to the game on tomorrow. And I will be wearing green. I will be getting this scorned look. The last couple, I think 2 years ago when I went down there, my end of the press box was all papered over, so I couldn't look out onto the field. So there's some love between the Poppers and Nokomis. It's good that she probably razzes you a little bit about that. I think about we actually have had I can't remember who the person was, but the person who did their sound and yes. Tech stuff over there, he was actually the brother of someone who worked here at the high school, and so
I knew him for a while, and he would always razz me about the game too. And so for whatever reason, I've just always enjoyed this game. But I was thinking, make sure to tell your son about the French fries. They are excellent.
Well, and the other thing that I remember is broadcasting an MDI Nokomis tournament game, and it must have been for the semifinals, I think. And my wife was sitting behind me, and she's chirping about go Nokomis, and I'm going. I finally go to a commercial break, and I go, you need to sit somewhere else because this game is going back to the island, and I don't need your comments going through my broadcast. It was great sleeping on the couch that night.
Yeah, right. Right where you belong.
Exactly. All right, Coach, we'll see you tomorrow. Best of luck, and we'll talk on Monday.
All right, Chris, we'll see you up there. Thanks. See you up there. Thanks.